My name is Neema Pathak Broome. I work with an organization called Kalpavriksh in India, and I am a project coordinator looking after the Conservation and Livelihoods program. So our organization works a lot on nature conservation issues, conservation governance, and we have mostly the situations that we have come across are when people are displaced, evicted, or their rights are curtailed when protected areas are declared or any sort of conservation area is declared. So these are people who have lived in these lands for generations. They have their own systems by which they have managed the land, conserved it, and used it. But the current dispensation feels that their use of the resources actually leads to degradation. So they are usually evicted from protected areas. Mostly it's a kind of, I think it's a very different way of looking at human-nature interaction. It's a belief that humans are separate from nature. So if nature has to survive, humans have to be outside of it. Whereas it's very different from the worldview that most of these communities live with, which is that humans are very much part of the nature. Using, managing, and living with the wildlife around you is a way of being for these communities. So it's a clash of these two different kinds of worldviews which causes this conflict and injustice. So we work at various levels because these injustices are not just local situations. They have causes which are national and global, mostly because of global policies or national policies. So we also work at different levels. We work with the communities themselves, very often to mobilize the communities, to share information with them, whatever information would be useful for them to empower themselves. We do a lot of documentation with the communities. We produce material for them, with them, which they can use. Then we also work to network these communities amongst themselves and with actors at the national level, also at the global level. We work with the state governments in trying to change the laws and policies which actually lead to these injustices. Essentially trying to get the communities to speak out and state what their issues are and create opportunities for equal dialogue amongst various actors. I guess in this situation a lot, it's just, as I said, the way of looking at nature-human interaction needs to change at the policy level. Immense number of policies in our country need to change which are exclusionary. So what we're trying to do is highlight people's own systems of conservation, people's own systems of being, which also the larger landscape where animals and humans survive together. So we're hoping for a kind of policy change in our country, much of which is also happening. We also engaged with helping implementation of an act currently which recognizes the rights of the local people. And these rights are not just to use the resources, but also to be responsible towards them. A just future. A just future would, to me, be when all humans understand what it is to be human, and also understand the relationship, the interconnectedness that humans have with all other beings on this world, and feel responsible for self as well as for beings around them, which are humans, non-humans, and sometimes living and non-living things as well. So a just world will be a greater sense of responsibility for self, our own existence, and responsibility for beings around us.